All right, Shane. So starting here, of course, in South Carolina, where, man, we've had an interesting couple of days here in Columbia. We just saw, if you missed it, Luke Doty's, he's met with the media. We'll kick it over to him in just a moment. But he came in on one of those scooters with his leg in a cast. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I hope he can see the field as soon as possible. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not seeing him playing week one if he's right now on a scooter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying to keep the positive vibes and the positive thinking going, but man, it's tough to see that in 2 weeks.
Right. So what have the Gamecocks done? They've gotten pretty creative here, Shane. I don't know that I've ever heard of this in a training camp. I'm sure it's happened before, but they took a graduate assistant, a member of the coaching staff, took his whistle off, gave him pads and a helmet, and said, "Get your ass out there." So they have Zeb Noland is this guy's name. He was a GA. Now he's on the football team as a quarterback. He was at North Dakota State. Previously,
Yeah.
he was the backup to Trey Lance, who's now with the 49ers, first-round pick. And he was previously at Iowa State. So, I mean,
Yeah,
just a wild story. You know what?
Yeah, this is straight out of Armadillo's playbook here. I'd be calling him Sinbad. He was up there teaching. They're like, hell, you got another year eligibility. Come on down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is only an option because of last year and the free year of eligibility. You know what? So
Yeah.
I don't know how this works out, but I would certainly assume that this is just in a break glass in case of an emergency type quarterback. But hell,
Is it? Well, let me ask you, Mike. Is it? Is it? I mean, the fact that you would even go through, like, if you in the back of your mind thought Doty was going to come back in 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, would you really get a grad assistant, a helmet, just put down the clipboard, get out here and start slinging the rock? I mean, are you panicking, or are we just overthinking this thing?
I just think it's a wild story, and they need some arms in camp because,
Yeah.
I mean, all indication, Jason Brown, I know he's coming up from the FCS level, but I don't think, he's terrible or anything like that. And all the buzz on the true freshman, Colton Gutier, is positive. So but they got nothing behind that. I mean, they got a couple walk-ons behind those
Right.
guys. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this is, and they've got to carry on Joyner, who's a receiver now, but now he's taking quarterback reps. But
Right.
I think the fact that they're moving receivers over, they're moving grad assistants over, I think they're just, really protecting themselves in case of some catastrophic injuries here in the first couple of weeks of the season. But
Yeah.
if nothing else, I hate to even say this, we're going to get to Luke Doty here in just a second, but this leads me to believe that, he may not be back very soon because if he's back in a week or two, I don't understand why you're pulling this move.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So let's kick it over to Shane Beamer, who kind of breaks down this decision, and then we also got Luke Doty here on him trying to get back for week one and what all entails with that.
And I'm sure the big topic of conversation is the new quarterback that was out there. Zeb Noland was practicing with us today, as you saw. I've known Zeb for a long time. He arrived here in June as a graduate assistant coach with eligibility still remaining. So as a graduate assistant, you're able to practice with the team, and that's what he did today. I saw Zeb 2018, Oklahoma, and Kyler Murray and CeeDee Lamb and Marquise Hollywood Brown. And that squad that we had there in 2018 rolled into Ames, Iowa, and had a shootout against Zeb Noland and the Iowa State Cyclones. I think it was 37-27 or something like that. Back and forth game. Zeb's dad's a high school coach over in Georgia, known him for a long time. He transferred from Iowa State, went to North Dakota State. He was Trey Lance's backup, the first-round pick of the 49ers. He's got great experience. And most importantly, he has played in a football game a heck of a lot more recent than anybody else on this team. North Dakota State had a spring football season in the playoffs. Obviously, they typically go a long, long way in the playoffs. So while our guys were going through spring practice, Zeb was actually playing in games. This is something that we've been talking about, the possibility of potentially doing for a while. It wasn't like we weren't discussing it before Luke got hurt. We were, just from a depth standpoint. It's not a reflection of our quarterback room at all. Fact of the matter is, I would say most college football programs in the country, I don't know, I haven't called every single program, but I can't imagine any of them are practicing with only 3 quarterbacks right now. I know last.
Hey, Luke, after Saturday's scrimmage, Shane was said there was a sprain. Can you talk about the initial diagnosis and kind of what happened in those first 24 hours, what they initially were telling you?
Yeah, I mean, it is a midfoot sprain, and that's pretty much it. The recovery time is pretty good. It's definitely we got definitely a positive outlook on everything. So right now I'm just doing everything I can to get healthy and hopefully be back for week 1.
Luke, as far as that goes, what does kind of the next few weeks look like in terms of for you in terms of rehab, and what do you feel like you kind of have to do in terms of to get back to 100% and be ready week 1?
I mean, definitely not rush anything, obviously. Just every day, just trying to do something to to get healthy, to get back in shape. Obviously, I'm in a boot and rolling around on a scooter, but that won't be for long. Another few days in this, and then it'll be full go on the rehab, and just like I said, doing everything I can to make sure I'm healthy and that I'm ready to go. Both physically and mentally.
All right, Shane. So if nothing else, man, let's give him credit for being creative down here in Columbia. And I just cannot wait for what the next week's going to bring, because it's just one storyline after another down there. You know what?
Yeah, I like it, man. I mean, it is a fun story, and if they spin it right, these kids are going to be fine. Again, there's not crazy expectations on South Carolina, and that makes for a dangerous team, if you ask me. If you're coming in like, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. They have nothing to lose, so that makes them dangerous every Saturday. So, yeah, give it to Shane getting creative here.